Quarterfinals, here we come for the challenger level of MLP Daytona by Margaritaville. It's, oh boy, the Ranchers, who were in action late last night, had an incredible match to get in against Columbus, and now they will face off against Miami Pickleball Club. The team in pink, Cameron Irwin alongside Dominic Catalano. 4 athletes on each of these teams looking for a spot into the semifinals. Give me a walkthrough of some of these teams.
Well, first and foremost, let's go with the team that's on court right now. It's the Miami Pickleball Club. There will be no shortness of, I don't know, talking between Jeff Warnick and anyone who will listen. So they got a lot of fire between them, and Brendon Long, the big pickup for them, has made a huge difference. He was someone that we were discussing before the draft took place, way back the first draft, and shocked that he didn't get picked up. He gets picked up right away by Miami and has immediately made a difference. And then on the women's side of things, with Regina, Goldberg, and Alix Truong, very explosive players. Goldberg is now playing really well again, and love to see it. And then Alix Truong, the young up-and-comer, playing really strong and very fiery. And so that Miami Pickleball Club won their pool and came out on top, winning their pool. And the team that they beat in their pool, the Chicago Slice, is playing in the other quarterfinal.
So the Miami Pickleball Club, you gave us a full rundown as they are currently warming up on court. They will face off versus the Texas Ranchers, who I mentioned had a fantastic closeout to the day yesterday. They are rounded out. They've got Genie Erokhina alongside none other than Miss MLP, Lee Whitwell. And of course, Pat Smith and Scott Doerner, as they are the 2 men on that 4-person team. Give me a little insight as to the firepower and the magic the Texas Ranchers can bring.
Well, first and foremost, ran into owner of the Texas Ranchers last night, Tim Klitsch, at the dinner, and walked up to him, and as soon as he seen me, he looks at me and just has almost a sigh of relief going, hey, we won our last match. The Atlanta Bouncers helped us out by going 1-3 against the Brooklyn Aces, and they get in as the 6th seed. And now throw out all those seedings, and it's all about what happens on court. So you're looking at the Texas Ranchers as a team that was like, hey, we may be in, we don't know, we sneak in. Now they're looking to do some damage. You have 2 veterans of the game, Pat Smith, Lee Whitwell. They're going to lead this team into this matchup against Miami. They're going to be steady, they're going to be consistent, and we're going to see what happens on this side of things. But again, women's doubles, the first to go. So Whitwell and Erokhina will come up against Truong and Goldberg in the first matchup to set the tone. But what I'm looking for out of the Texas Ranchers here is consistency. If they can stay consistent, keep balls in play, and maybe force some mistakes from possibly the young Truong and Goldberg, they'll make it a game here.
Well, Dominic Catalano setting the scene perfectly. The first quarterfinal about to get started. In the other quarterfinal, it's going to be the Columbus Pickleball Club versus the Chicago Slice. And waiting in the wake in terms of the semifinals, it's the champions from MLP Mesa, the Bay Area Breakers, as well as the Dallas Pickleball Club. Those 2 teams faced off in group play yesterday. It went down to a dream breaker, ultimately coming in the direction of the Bay Area Breakers in that final game and match played. So those 2, though, coming out as the top dogs on the challenger level in terms of seeding. So the winner of this will face the Dallas Pickleball Club. The winner of the other quarterfinal, Columbus and Chicago Slice, will face the Bay Area Breakers. We're going to be going back and forth, both the quarterfinals and the semifinals for the challenger level in action on this second day here in Daytona Beach. Lee Whitwell squaring off right now with Alix Truong and our official.
Looks like they are just about ready and set to go here. Tim Klitsch, team owner of the Texas Ranchers, is in full cowboy boot and spurs on the sideline. better be careful on court he doesn't start gouging the court. Our referees need to keep an eye on him down there. Keep him away from the playing surface.
Well, I'm looking through the standings now after group play yesterday. The Barrier Breakers are the only challenger level team to come out of group play with 3-0 to their name in terms of matches won to matches lost. Dallas and Miami, as well as Columbus, Chicago, and the Ranchers all went 2-1. The separation in terms of that 6-7 spot, it was 2-1 for the Brooklyn Aces as well, as we've mentioned multiple times, but points won as well as the point differential. Get this, 50.7 for points won from the Texas Ranchers compared to 50.63. So 0.07 was the difference.
Wow, I mean, it doesn't get any closer than that. Wow, I mean, that's unbelievable right there. Just to start, I mean, what a start to the day yesterday. Some great, we had some dream breakers all around. We kept true to form with dream breakers here on championship court this morning.
Now we get set for the women to take the court. Here's a look at Genie Erokhina at Aliso Viejo. Wow, that's even near me and I couldn't even say it. 33 years of age. Genie's so fun to play alongside. I've faced off against her a couple times, and she has a very unique way of approaching the pickleball court, as she's got some of the longest arms on tour. Loves to be aggressive, plenty of whip. She gets down to her feet well, even though she's also going to be one of the taller on court. Playing alongside Lee Whitwell, as we now look to the other side and give you a glimpse into Alix Truong out of Falls Church, Virginia, one of the youngest players in MLP, played tennis for fun since about a young age, played #1 singles, #1 doubles, district player of the year for 3 years in high school. Playing alongside Regina Franco Goldberg out of Boynton Beach, Florida, as you now see the head-to-head.
It's so close. All these head-to-heads so far this morning have been extremely close. We had a 50-50, we had a 48-52, and another one here.
Franco Goldberg, also a former pro racquetball player, as is Daniel De La Rosa, who's on a challenger level team as well. The Dallas Pickleball Club, to be exact. So plenty of transition sports coming into the game of pickleball, be it tennis or racquetball. Ping pong also has definitely been mentioned once, if not twice. Ben Johns loves ping pong and played growing up against his brother Colin. Said that was a big part of the development of their game. And
he's so good at it too. You watch him. There's some videos out there of him playing some ping pong with some professional ping pong players that are on his Yola team, and he can handle himself on a ping pong table as well.
All right, well, let's get to it. Quarterfinal action about to begin. Miami Pickleball Club, the #3 seed, facing off the #6 seed, the Texas Ranchers, here on championship court. Franco Goldberg will serve.
Team's trying to figure out where they're going here, as teams like to be on the same side as their players are on, so they can kind of talk and coach them up, because that is one of the unique things about MLP, is that coaching is allowed. You can talk to your players and your bench throughout the match, which is a unique thing about, like I said, Major League Pickleball. I love that about it. The in-game adjustments being made. I hear the cowbells already.
A lefty, so playing the right side.
1-0.
Second from a misread from Truong.
A little tight early on is Alix Truong. Hopefully see her loosen up here a little bit.
No,
that is not the spot to go there for Alix Truong. as Erokhina is sitting forehand for this put away.
Plenty of whip on that from Erokhina. 3-0.
Yeah, I just think Whitwell needs to just slow that up again. I know they got into that little firefight. She's so good at resetting and staying in the point.
2-3, and it's already getting noisy here on championship court from the stands.
2-3.
Good ball there from Lee Whitwell in the middle. As they slow the momentum down, get it back to their side. Ranchers take a 4-2 lead. A good lead right there from Goldberg as Erokhina goes a little long on the two-hander.
4-3 now for Texas Ranchers.
Shot drop in front of Erokhina. Her length, this is the first time I've seen her.
Yeah.
Her length is such an advantage to her. They're trying to drop in front of her and she's taking everything out of the air and keeping that pressure on.
5-3.
And again, same thing, taking the ball out of the air is Erokhina. Even though there's not a ton of placement on that ball, she is taking time away from the other side.
She read it so well. She read the speed up from Truong perfectly, but she overran it, the speed up.
You can see Truong taking a step back on that speed up. The right foot. Speed up down the line.
I love how you put that, Cam. She's taking those balls out of the middle, even on a dink. She's taking time away from her opponent so they can't set up quickly enough. Again, using her length so well. Truong almost standing at the kitchen line going, finally, I got her to make a mistake because she's been pretty clean so far, is Erokhina.
They're icing her out right now.
Yeah, everything's to Erokhina, about 90% of the balls right now. Watch her whip this ball back across her body. Erokhina thinking she's going to go to her backhand. She ends up flipping down the middle.
7-7.
That's a huge forehand there from Erokhina. Way to stop the bleeding, get that side out, and take that lead back.
8-7.
It's like a bait ball right there from Erokhina to get Truong to speed that up because Erokhina slides to her left and sits on that forehand.
Also playing is the quarterfinal in the grandstand, Columbus Pickleball Club versus the Chicago Slice. Ellen Rain and Megan Fudge facing off against Emily Ackerman and Susanna Barr. Johnson, part of the Columbus Pickleball Club, had to face off against Lee Whitwell yesterday in the Dream Breaker. Speaking of Johnsons, Hunter Johnson will be in action today, even though for Thomas Wilson and the LA Mad Drops, as Wilson had to pull out with an injury. So 11-8 here, Erokhina and Whitwell. The Ranchers hit the change of ends first.
Well, this is exactly how the Ranchers wanted to start, right? They'll take any size lead going into the end change here, as again, they're the 6 seed playing the 3 seed. They were the 2 out of their pool. Miami Pickleball Club won their pool, so they are the higher seed. But again, throw those seeds out. It doesn't matter. It's all about this match right here. We don't do it on paper. That's why we play it. And you have right now the Texas Ranchers with an 11-8 lead. As you see, Steve Kuhn, our founder of MLP. Is he busy at work, or is he's probably watching other matches on other courts as well?
I don't know, but the man's got a little bit of rhythm there. You saw the head bob to the music. He's feeling this. He's feeling this. I'm all for it. Is Brendon Long also coaching up these 2 ladies. So helpful to get to see what's happening from the outside of the court. You get such a different perspective as, come on now, you got a baby Selkirk paddle?
That's the Riley paddle.
That's adorable.
Isn't it?
That's amazing. Oh, my heart hurts. That was cute.
We get back into play here. It is Genie Erokhina to serve. It's a 3-point lead for the Ranchers.
On her side, and a lot of the dinks coming her way. You want to get Lee Whitwell involved. 9-12. Miami looking to make a move here. Manassi had been
9-12
on the Miami Pickleball Club. Brendon Long here now.
That one back. She did get involved right there. Just kind of used that wrist and snapped down a little too much.
10-12.
Awkward hit there from Erokhina as Truong pulled her far to her backhand. Nice run here by Miami.
11-12.
Get back in this within 1. Super angle there from Erokhina. Get them back with a 2-point lead here.
13-11 now. Also important to note, as we have now hit the knockout rounds, extra points are added in terms of event points as you hit a knockout round. And not to mention, the play to the conclusion of this match. So you must win 3 points in terms of game points instead of 4, which is what we were doing in terms of the group play. We played all 4 games, both men's, women's, and 2 mixed matches. At the kitchen line, one after another. She continues to shake her head and says, don't come
And like Whitwell needs any help, she uses the tape. And Truong can't do anything but throw her hands up going, really? Such a good job there from Whitwell. The communication with Erokhina. She comes over and says, I'll take this, but then she slides back. And Truong and Goldberg almost thought they had an opening in the middle. You had to. But again, the difference right there is Truong sped up at Whitwell, and then her second ball was at Erokhina. She went away from Whitwell on the second speed up.
Heads up, ball out of bounds. 16-13. Again, quarterfinal action for the challenger level. First game starts with the women here.
Right hit by Goldberg on Whitwell. Great spot as Whitwell was leaning middle.
14-16.
Erokhina sprint in after this drop. Watch it, full sprint, two-hander on the run. Going, here I come, Truong, right at you.
Timeout receiving team, 1 minute.
How many overheads did those two hit in that rally? I was also impressed with the Whitwell chase when they lobbed her when she was up at the kitchen line.
Yes, and I thought Truong got them in trouble because she started that. She had a third shot lob, it put them in trouble, but then they flipped the script so quickly. Beautifully done.
It's also a little bit of an education there in terms of some defense from the baseline. When you're in trouble, the lob not necessarily a bad choice, as overheads, like you would think, or unlike you would think, are really hard to put away in the game of pickleball sometimes.
Absolutely, it's you need to create the angle, right? And all those overheads are going straight back to the baseline, straight back to the baseline. These players are gonna get those back. It's when you pull them wide and outside of the sidelines and hitting that angle, that's the difference maker.
So putting that ball overhead, it's not necessarily just about the height of the play, because if you lob this and it ends up at the kitchen line, as you see now, the United Pickleball rally of the match, this is a good one to do it. But see how Erokhina actually has to take a step off the kitchen line, and that one, that's what's making those lobs so difficult, because you're looking up at the ball and you also don't have the greatest angle. You have to hit with more depth on the overhead. Just continuing the trek, and then here, the lob over the top of the Lee Whitwell. Backhand chases that back down, and then the closeout. Big two-handed rip from Erokhina.
Wow, I mean, there had to be 8, 9 lobs in that. The best lob, though, was Truong over Whitwell when they were back up at the kitchen line. That set them up nicely, but Erokhina bailed her out and bailed her team out. Now they have a 3-point lead here.
Again, the challenger level so important right now. Every point matters in 2023. These teams look to add, get into the relegation system in 2024. Truong called that ball out of bounds. Just checking with his partner. I think that was it. Ball sent back. It's 18-14.
hands battle there with Whitwell straight up. And I like it. I like Truong trying to challenge Whitwell, but again, we got to go the combo Whitwell to Erokhina and stop going right at Whitwell too often. Good night off the forehand from Lee Whitwell.
19-15.
She feeds off this environment, right? Playoffs are made for Lee Whitwell. This is where she starts to thrive. She feeds off the crowd.
It's a game point for the Ranchers.
She took 45 steps in about a 10-foot space right there. Very fleet of feet is Lee Whitwell.
16-20.
So rally scoring still in place for Miami Pickleball Club.
Right out.
Freeze in effect for the Texas Ranchers. A second look at game point.
20-16.
Good ball from Goldberg right at the feet of Erokhina. Jamming her up just enough.
17-20 now.
17-20.
Miami needs some help. Whoa, Truong. I said it. They need some help. Well, the net gave them some there.
Hey, they'll take it all day, Cam. Now we're both frozen. Double freeze. Side out scoring. About a comeback here. I love it. And the young Truong and Goldberg here fighting their way back just when it looked like Erokhina and Whitwell were in control. Again, this is that dynamic of the freeze, right? It allows the team to come back, and now they answer now within one, Cam.
20-19. Miami still maintains the serve. They are in the double freeze, like you mentioned, at the 18-20 mark. The Texas Ranchers have been steady throughout this, having a significant advantage in the late stages of this game. But that's what the freeze can do. It is a scary thing to have to face so often. And it's actually, I love it. It creates a different element and a different style of play as you get into these later stages of games. It
really does. And it just brings a different dynamic, right? Where you're like, okay, well, I can just run through this. But then all of a sudden when you stop, that pressure is all on you now. Now it's like, okay, we can only score on our serve. It's a ton of pressure.
Pressure now on the side of the Ranchers. They're still up by 1. Receiving serve. Yeah!
Ooh, Goldberg on the forehand right there, putting a ton of pressure on Erokhina.
20-20.
Must win by 2.
What I didn't want Truong to do, she started to step up prematurely right there. She needs to hold her ground. She stepped up, and now that ball's taken off the short hop, and now she ran into problems. Just stay back and work that point from that spot.
Whitwell with a slow walk here as the score remains 20 apiece.
That whole point, talking about a third shot drop, right? We talked about yesterday that hybrid third shot drop. It's almost a drive drop. That set up that whole point there off the paddle of Erokhina.
Game point yet again for the Ranchers.
You cannot miss a third in that spot. Make a mistake high, not low off the net. Got to get it up and over.
20-21.
You're exactly right. It worked, but Goldberg was almost going to back up Truong on that overhead, and she got caught.
The fourth shot at a game point for the Ranchers. So fast. Ball back to Miami.
20-21.
Tough ball for Whitwell to try and cut that and drop that in. She's bringing Truong to the kitchen line. If Truong just stays in that point, doesn't try and force something with that lob.
20.
That is what you call point construction from Genie Erokhina to set that up. She was going hard sideline, flips middle once. Now she's got Truong leaning left and right. That little flip in the middle should not be a winner at 50%, but it was because of her setup.
You have to go hats off, though, to the Miami Pickleball Club. Those ladies fought back late as they faced game point multiple times. It was only on the 5th total shot at game point to the Ranchers get the job done. So now the fellas are getting ready to take the court. Pat Smith and Scott Doerner are getting warmed up. But for now, we've also got to hit Cameron Blackwood, who's standing courtside alongside Genie Erokhina as well as Lee Whitwell. Awfully happy are those two. All right, Cameron Blackwood, let's have some fun.
Lee, got a little chippy out there, especially with Jeff Warnick on the other side. How do you not let it get in your head or affect your play?
You know, I just picture him with a big old pacifier in his mouth, and that just quietens it right down. So I just block him out.
And heading into this, we know that it's going to be a crazy match all day long. We have a lot of fans for the Ranchers as well as Miami. How are you guys going to mentally stay in this?
You know, we just go 1 point at a time, and we go and we dance out there, and we find our rhythm.
There you have it. Ranchers go up 1-0. We're going to head into men's doubles next. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Oro Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
Dulce Vita, you are what you drink.
Oh my good Lord, what a feeling. All of this joy I've been stealing. We all need someone that can make us believe. So call me a man on a mission. I'm guilty by my own admission.
From with Pickleball, we believe in the power of our sport to unite a community. We have introduced hundreds of people to pickleball by funding a 10-court public facility in our hometown with leagues and lessons to make everyone feel valued. We take that same approach to our business.
Hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients. And that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Oro Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
And to the men we go as Pat Smith and Scott Doerner now hit the court for the Ranchers to face off against Jeff Warnick and Brendon Long. Oh boy, here we go. Jeff Warnick, one of the great personalities in pickleball. He is not shy to have a word or two. He attended Cal State Bakersfield, played soccer and baseball through high school. He's out of Pasadena, California, but he's got one of the most unique grips in all of pickleball.
Yeah, it's almost like a frying pan grip. He holds that paddle so flat. And so what he uses that to his advantage is when he's up at the kitchen line, you'll see him almost put the fat paddle in your face, and he's like almost taunting you. But he can go inside, outside, down the middle so easily with that grip. It's just a little unorthodox, but it works for Jeff.
He'll play alongside Brendon Long out of Naples, Florida. And on the other side, it's going to be Pat Smith, like we mentioned. Pat Smith out of Wichita, Kansas, originally out of Munich, Germany, though. He was a tennis player and played at the University of Missouri in Kansas City, where he was the Men's Conference Player of the Year back in 2010. Graduated with a pre-med degree. He'll play alongside Scott Doerner out of Westlake Village, California. Originally out of Melbourne, Australia. Won the Australian U16 grass and clay court championships and became the nation's top-ranked junior. Played at Pepperdine University in the fall of 2002, where he was the #1 player on the 2006 NCAA champion men's tennis team. One of the all-time greats from Pepperdine. He's an All-American, WCC Player of the Year, and now finds himself on the pickleball court. Played some professional tennis as well, and was the coach of none other than Sam Querrey, who's also now a pro pickleball player. Everyone making the switch as these four fellas are ready to face off. The first point, though, is on the board from the Texas Ranchers. Lee Whitwell and Genie Erokhina picked up a big-time game over Miami.
The pressure right off the bat from Pat Smith, right at the feet of Brendon Long, as the Ranchers get on the board first here.
1-0.
Facing that back baseline is Pat Smith, as Brendon Long jams him up just a tad.
Where might be some of the points of placement for the Miami Pickleball Club, Dawn, in terms of aggressive play against the Ranchers?
And there's Warnick's grip paying dividends early, right? That flat grip. If he doesn't have that grip, he gets jammed up on his shoulder. It's all offense here early from the Ranchers, and like you said, Cam, it is Miami that does need to kind of flip the script here and put that pressure on themselves. But again, they can't even get into that right now because the pressure is being brought to them early from Texas.
Pressure
looks like balls at the feet of Texas, right? You have to get the ball down. Both you know, when you're dealing with two guys like you have on the other side of the court with Smith and Doerner, good hands, they're going to get everything back. So you have to make it difficult for them. Get that ball down at their feet. That was well overcooked on a dink from Pat Smith. I think his mind said one thing and his body said another.
I think there's a song about that.
I sometimes can't with you, Cam. You're too quick. Too quick.
4-3.
That's just constant pressure there from Doerner. And again, the communication from Pat Smith too, right? These guys don't play together. I don't think they may have ever played together. But the communication with Smith telling Doerner, you, and he keeps that pressure on Warnick.
Left hand did Pat Smith. He actually got the ball back, but it was the successive shot to cause some trouble. 5-4 now for Miami.
5-4.
Such a good drop from Brendon Long, going cross court, inside out forehand, puts the pressure on Smith, and he can't stop that spin. Pops it up, Warnick reads it, puts that ball away.
6-4.
Pat Smith with some heavy pace.
And you have Long and Warnick looking over their sideline. Was that in? Was that out? Went past him so quick. To the naked eye, looked in, but neither one of them could call that out. So
5-6.
call will stand as in. Such good action there from Brendon Long. He pulls this from his shoe tops, but able to hit that at about 60% and create some shape on it to keep it in. Warnick wants that one back right there as he's trying to body up Doerner. I like the move though.
6-7.
Long.
Everybody thinks Brendon Long's like this sweet, calm guy. He's really aggressive, and you get him in a competitive situation like this, he's going to talk just as much.
Trying to do some extra lift on the drop third. 7-8 now. Ranchers within 1.
7-8. Yeah, you don't have that.
Warnick having plenty of words for Pat Smith, telling him, watch where you're swinging that third shot drive.
Well, he told Pat Smith, you don't have that, and Pat laughed at it. But Pat stood up throughout that. If he's got to stay low through that instead of standing straight up. Right back at him. He reads Warnick going for the Ernie, and Pat sits on the two-hander right here and just lights up Warnick as he's going out of bounds. He made it look so easy, but you have to make that decision so quick.
Pat Smith missing the third shot drive again, but this time he did look to go cross court instead of down the line at Warnick.
10-8.
Well, yeah, these guys are both, you know, very athletic, and Long and Warnick, they're looking for that to try and step in and take that. But again, you have to be aggressive, but aggressive at the right time.
the looping ball through the middle. Watch his paddle posture here as this ball goes straight through.
It's so tough. You can't look at that, Cam, and go, okay, let's break this down and I'm going to teach you this. Because it's so unorthodox from Warnick, but again, it's whatever works. It's not about how pretty, it's about how effective. And right now, Jeff Warnick being very effective, and him and Brendon Long have an 11-9 lead here on the end change.
Yeah, it definitely causes your eyes to have to figure out a new read, right? When you see somebody with that type of grip and different style in terms of speed up at the kitchen line. Certain locations for those speed ups also change. 11-9 at the end change.
And an
There's a look
update.
at Dave Fleming and the rest of the Dallas Pickleball Club as they are currently waiting the winner of this match.
Mm-hmm.
In the other quarterfinal, again, it's the Chicago Slice and Columbus Pickleball Club. The Bay Area Breakers are still the #1 seed, as they picked up 3 wins in group play. Steve Kuhn sitting here on championship court.
That other quarterfinal matchup on grandstand court. Chicago with a 1-0 lead and a 16-9 lead in men's doubles. So 2 upsets brewing here in the quarterfinals.
Time in, 11-9.
Doerner, I like that, shifting to the middle, even as a right-handed player on the right side.
A little left-handed fake to the middle from Doerner. Pat Smith coming up and finishing. And it's just Pat Smith not staying down on this drive. You watch him, he's just jumping through it. He's got to stay down and through this drive rather than coming up. Second he comes up, that ball stays low and into the net.
Shot right at the body of Doerner.
Again, decision making and process throughout that. Pat Smith had Warnick stuck at the baseline. He decides to speed up at the great hands of Brendon Long and does not come out on top.
How about that drive? Low and dipping with tons of pace.
Jeff Warnick feeling really good right now.
14-10.
Warnick in a few odd places, but ultimately it's popped back up and Miami earns the point.
Miami is hot right now, and you have Jeff Warnick and Brendon Long on fire. And no pun intended, it is hot in Miami right now, as it is in Daytona here on championship court. A 5-point lead for Miami and Long and Warnick.
Just so many plays on words there. Too many. As a timeout has been called by the Texas Ranchers, Doerner and Smith. And we are also just taking a look out to the grandstand, 21-11 in the men's matchup. So the Chicago Slice, I believe, now up 2-0 over the Columbus Pickleball Club. Chicago, the #5 seed, Columbus, the #4 seed. But here on championship court, Miami resides in the 3 spot, the Ranchers at the 6. 1 and 2 will be seen in the semifinals this afternoon.
Like the timeout here from Texas, trying to slow the momentum of Miami down. But right now, Pat Smith and Scott Doerner need to have an answer out of this timeout. Get that side out and get back here on the board again.
Time in, 15-10.
And another 16-10. You look at this matchup on paper, you might be thinking the score looks the opposite direction. That's what makes pickleball so fun, is some help is given to Pat Smith here. Start building some positives.
A little floater right there, and Brendon Long had no idea what to do with it as it got on his body.
11-16.
On that ball. Another point though, 17-11. Look at the pressure applied by Brendon Long cross court with that roll.
Brendon Long feeling really good right now. Again, sitting in a good position to tie this up heading into mixed doubles. Warnick trying to drop that last one, and I like the concept. It was long lobbing. Warnick trying to drop those in. Some work to do for Texas.
Pat Smith showing some emotion here as they find 13.
The last thing Miami needs to do is be playing out balls, and they played 2 right there. That's a free point here for Texas. Let's see if they can use this momentum to get back in as they're still down by 4.
13-17.
Great contacts to get himself up to the kitchen line. Goes for the ATP and instead finds the post.
I think it was there. He tries to pull that back in too tight.
18-13.
The shape he puts on this ball too, right? He keeps this ball away from Warnick in the middle because he goes inside out. Warnick thinks that ball's going to come to him. He's got some slice on it.
14-18.
Just out of the reach of Jeff Warnick.
Doerner starting to come alive. Again, he's shifting a bit more middle now too.
Yeah, good footwork from Doerner to get around that forehand. If he doesn't, he almost gets hit in the body with that.
15-18.
Again, someone's got to see that and down on that sideline and talk to Pat Smith about him jumping up out of that drive. His drive is so good. He gets so much pace on it. But when he's pulling up and out of that, it's going to be trouble. He's giving away about 4 or 5 free points to Miami.
Wild to watch Warnick wind that up. I know it missed into the net, but man, a lot of pace coming off that paddle.
16-19.
Away with one there. It was a pop-up. Doerner nearly got destroyed right here.
And again, Long trying to do a little too much with it. Just get it down at the feet, put that ball away.
17-19.
Here comes Texas.
Takes a shot immediately.
That's a pretty ball inside out here from Brendon Long.
Game point for the Miami Pickleball Club.
17.
Zone, so a side out and the 18th point now for the Texas Ranchers, which means we are at the double freeze.
18-20.
Wow. I mean, that didn't have a chance from the beginning.
Pat Smith misses the third, and it's now a second chance for 1 apiece, which means we for sure will play both of these mixed doubles matches. It's going to come down to each one of these. What will the combinations be for both Miami and the Ranchers? That's going to be the question. Which fellow will play alongside which woman?
Great answer there from Miami. Needed that win. Didn't want to go down 2-0 and have to win both mixed doubles matches. So great job from Brendon Long and Jeff Warnick to answer the bell and even this all up at 1 game apiece headed into mixed doubles.
Warnick now joining Cameron Blackwood as we await one more. Brendon Long making the trek across the court. A big-time win for the Miami Pickleball Club, who pick up their first point in this match. Cameron, take it away.
Brendon, you guys now tied up 1-1, new to the Miami team here. How long did you and Jeff train before stepping on court here at MLP Daytona?
Essentially like 2 nights before yesterday. So we got in. I actually don't even think we hit a ball together that night, but the day before, so Wednesday was our first day we played, and I feel like we meshed initially. Like, first point, we were good to go.
You guys tie it up now. Never short on words, Jeff, but how important is energy and momentum, especially in MLP?
It's everything. This is how you rattle their team. Whoever they put up in mix next will be rattled. Pat's drive's still going to be the same. His drop will still be the same. I expect to win 3-1.
There you have it. Miami ties it up 1-1. We're heading into mixed doubles. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Oh my good Lord, what a feeling. All of this joy I've been stealing. We all need someone, someone that can make us believe. So call me a man on a mission. I'm guilty by my own admission. Locked up but I break free. No chains could ever take me. Can't stop, won't stop, don't stop now.
The Pro XR pickleball paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game, because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
Dulce Vita. You are what you drink.
Introducing Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball. They're ultra lightweight and responsive for incredible speed. They have Goodyear rubber outsoles with a specialized pickleball design for increased side-to-side stability and agility. Plus, they feature shock-absorbing foam and Skechers' famous relaxed fit design for incredible comfort game after game. Conquer the court in comfort. Skechers Pickleball, the official footwear of Major League Pickleball.
Major League Pickleball Daytona by Margaritaville is the place to be this weekend. Day 2 coverage. We are right in the middle of the challenger level quarterfinals, heading into the mixed doubles competition. The first match of 2, or the first game of 2, will be played for mixed doubles. These could decide the winner here to move on to the semifinal. If they split these 2 mixed doubles matches, we will head to a dream breaker. So to start us off for the Texas Ranchers, it's Scott Doerner and Genie Erokhina on the opposing side for Miami. Alix Truong and Jeff Warnick. And interesting here with Erokhina, she will now switch from the left side to the right side. Mentality change as you head from women's doubles to mixed doubles, and also a side change.
Yeah, and Alix Truong, too, is going to be switching sides, too, going from the left to the right. So both of these ladies playing 2 different sides here today. We'll see how that matches up. But an interesting kind of dynamic for these first teams is I almost think the second 2 teams are the strong teams coming in at the end, cleaning up. Doerner coming out hot to start here in this first mixed doubles matchup.
1-0.
Per paddle, one apiece now.
1-1.
The exact same thing, but on the opposite side of her body. Too tight. Miami 2-1.
2-1.
What a reset there from Alix Truong as she saw Erokhina coming right at her. All she does is set her paddle angle and just let Erokhina do all the work for her.
And that's a loud out call by Jeff Warnick. And if you caught it before we went to break, he fully expects to close this thing out 3-1. He wants both these mixed matches. Strong drive, but an even better counter, pushing that ball down.
Well, that's exactly what Erokhina needs to do if she sees Warnick coming up. Get that ball at his feet. He's moving.
By Erokhina as she recognizes there's some space in the middle.
And it is a good counter though from Truong too, as she has that sideline, but she stays short all through that point and then just gets a little too big on the last one.
Finishing shot.
And as Doerner gets big, Truong resets, and then sets up her partner Warnick right there. Perfect job.
Let's serve.
Let's serve.
5-3. Timeout point 4.
Of Truong.
Yeah, Warnick, I think, looked at Truong and said, I need to let you take that instead of trying to short hop that up and over.
Those half volleys require that much more touch. Tons of pace as you put it short.
It's a good ball right there from Doerner. If he can just stay up at the kitchen line. He's fading back as he's hitting that two-handed backhand. And so you're moving away from your target, makes it that much harder.
6-4, make it 7-4.
Warnick is peacocking up at the kitchen line right now. He is liking what he is doing right now. If he could pat himself on the back, he would.
Look at that celebration. It's like he's fanned out his feathers. Truong, 9-4. Miami is the home team. So the home team responded to the mixed lineup of the Ranchers. So that's the advantage there.
That point set up beautifully by Jeff Warnick. Instead of getting kind of irrational with his drives, he drops that ball in beautifully, comes up and sets himself up.
Looking to add one for the Ranchers. So what can the Ranchers do at this point?
Again, it's getting Erokhina involved a little bit more, meaning I want to see her go backside on Warnick. She's going to the middle with a lot of stuff. Let's keep Warnick honest to his backside. Right now she's going cross-court with everything, and because it's not her hybrid cross-court drop with the two-hander, she's going inside out with it. It's a little different, it's a little higher. I like to see her pull that back cross-court and see what she can do to the backhand side of Jeff Warnick.
So now 11-5 as Miami climbs the ladder. Truong and Warnick have the 6-point advantage as they change sides. And again, another quarterfinal in action for the challenger level. Chicago Slice versus Columbus Pickleball Club. Right now in the first mixed doubles matchup, it's Barr and Garnett versus Fudge and Johnson. 15-14 with Columbus, the slight advantage. In the other quarterfinal, they will face off against the Bay Area Breakers, the winner of the quarterfinal on the grandstand, but the winner here on championship court will have the Dallas Pickleball Club, who is, by the way, standing or sitting in the stands here on championship court, surely picking up a scouting report. So Genie Erokhina and Scott Doerner come back out of the side switch. Another chance for them to communicate a little bit more with their team, come up with a different strategy. And there it is, you mentioned it, the backside of Jeff Warnick.
And that's exactly where Erokhina needs to go. Jeff is pinching in the middle a little too much right now. They need to keep him honest.
There, got them pretty out of position.
Yeah, Erokhina had no idea where Doerner was going.
12-6.
Love the finish in the middle right there from Truong. There's a double backhand, or the doubling up on the two-handed backhand by Alix Truong for the put away. Oh, what a reset from Warnick from the front row to get him and Truong back in that point.
Time for Erokhina and Doerner to make a move. Her wanting to drop cross court on the third shot, just in terms of the length of Warnick, and also getting her partner involved. And instead, Doerner, now they send the return to, they've done it the last 2 times, forced him to hit the third shot.
And even the confusion in the middle working the way of Miami, as both Warnick and Truong wanted that ball in the middle.
14-8.
Goodness, Alix Truong, those are 2 balls that you shouldn't get back. And she's getting back and forcing Doerner to hit another ball. Finally, he actually body shots her with the last one.
Well, she's committed to that 2-hand backhand. It also allows you to play a little bit freer when you commit and slide to which side of, which contact you want in terms of side of your body. As Truong misses the dink there, because then you just have to shift your body in order to get to that side of the paddle, so the decision making is a little bit less. But also can create some awkward angles.
Correct, exactly. And that's where you want to handcuff your opponent on that side. Oh my goodness, that ball spun on the top of the net, and when it dropped, it just stayed right on the net. There was nothing that Truong could do right there.
11-14 now.
If anyone needed a break right there, it was the Texas Ranchers. I love the adjustment on the fly from Truong right there. She got jammed up on the first one. As soon as she saw Doerner go to pull the trigger again, she slid. If that ball got over, she was going to punish that ball back.
15-11.
15-11 now for Miami. Missed return. There were some words between the Ranchers and Miami between that last point. There was all smiles on the side of Scott Doerner.
16-11.
I mean, what a pull from Warnick again. He is so hot like right now, meaning like every shot he's hitting there's a purpose to, right? He's not wild, he's not crazy, like he can get, right? He can get and play out of control. Right now, every shot he hits has a purpose, and he's doing so well.
17-11 with Miami in the lead.
17-11 causes a timeout on the side of the Texas Ranchers. And don't forget, we've got one more mixed doubles game to be played in this match regardless. Now the question is, who will apply the pressure out in the other quarterfinal right now? Chicago Slice and Columbus Pickleball Club. Chicago Slice at 20-18.
Again, don't say media over responsibility. Feel free to go check it out, get yourself a drink,
to be able to pick up the victory in the knockout rounds. So they are currently up 2-0. So if they pick up this first mixed doubles competition, they will be moving on into the semifinals. However, here on championship court, third and fourth game will be played.
Good time out here from Texas, trying to slow the momentum of Miami down.
Jumping backwards about 3 feet from the baseline. Doerner hit that overhead.
I almost thought that his overhead he was going to hit was going to go out, but he leaves the second one go. There's that counter from Truong right there as she slides to her right to get to her two-hander. Hits that one clean, forces the error from Doerner. Just standing straight up through that dink again. Late in the match. Now we got to really focus on the fundamentals, staying down through that shot. We saw that come to fruition with Pat Smith in the men's doubles. Guiding that ball through the middle is Jeff Warnick.
19-13.
Hey, she bought the whole paddle, might as well use it, right? So she gets the edge guard right between the legs of Jeff Warnick.
He thought it was going to go out.
Right here.
14-19. Even better on the side of Truong and Warnick.
20-14.
Game point for Miami. Couple nice holds. Truong did a solid job as she brings that paddle back, delaying and holding the paddle. Even making me a little nervous, unsure of where she's putting that ball. She missed that one into the net, but still plenty of disguise there.
Just coming up through that a little bit. Trying to hit that cross-court two-hander.
20-15.
Finish right there. Erokhina getting a little too big with that two-hander, and Warnick and Truong do their job, take it 21-15, head to that final mixed doubles matchup.
Warnick and Truong pick up a victory, as now Goldberg will take the court alongside Long, with Pat Smith out there as well as Lee Whitwell.
So that's the matchup that will come down to determine who's moving on. But if Texas can win that one, we will go to that dream breaker here on championship court. If not, and Miami wins, they move on and will face the Dallas Pickleball Club.
Well, and I loved it. Last time we talked to Jeff Warnick, he said they wanted to finish this off 3-1. He has done his job as he now stands courtside alongside Cameron Blackwood and Alix Truong.
Jeff, you guys go up 2-1. You are the home team, so you got to counter. Why did you choose this team to go up first?
Scott Doerner cannot beat me.
There you have it. And speaking of Scott, you were straight up with him, feeling very confident. What were you seeing on the other side in order to pull that trigger?
Yeah, I think in the women's match, I just wasn't confident with me pulling triggers at all, so I'm not really afraid to do that cross-court or down the line, so I figured, why not just go for it? And I was beating him in the beginning, so I closed it out in the end.
And Jeff, you said you're going to go 3-1 here in Miami with a win. You still hold true to that?
The janitor's on the court, and he will clean up the garbage.
There you have it. Miami's up 2-1. We're going to be heading into our next mixed doubles right after this. Don't go anywhere.
It's Saturday. No one's here. Right? Are you getting this? So if he wants the invoice,
water doesn't have to be boring. Turn it up with Circle. With over 40 delicious flavors and a dial that controls your intensity, Circle starts a party for your taste buds. No sugar, no calories, and no artificial flavors. Just good times. Circle, it's your water, your way. Try Circle at drinkcircle.com.
Just like my mama said, hard times and that good way that you're born. Hustler, when the world wants you to sing a swim, I ain't gonna do that.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
At From with Pickleball, we believe in the power of our sport to unite a community. We have introduced hundreds of people to pickleball by funding a 10-court public facility in our hometown with leagues and lessons to make everyone feel valued. We take that same approach to our business with personalized customer service and same-day shipping from our huge inventory. When you order from with Pickleball, you're supporting a small business and a diverse community of pickleball fanatics. We have the gear you need and the service you can trust.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Oro Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
Miami Pickleball Club has put themselves in a fantastic position here in the quarterfinals against the Texas Rangers. They go up 2-1 after the first mixed doubles competition. Cameron Irwin alongside Dominic Catalano. Next up, it's going to be Regina Franco Goldberg and her partner Brendon Long facing off against Lee Whitwell and Pat Smith. These are moments, though, that Lee Whitwell lives for. She plays her best pickleball under pressure in the MLP. We've seen it time and time again as she now has a massive task in front of her. How might this one shape up?
Again, if I'm Whitwell, I need to keep Pat Smith's head in the game, right? And it's basically like, okay, I got to keep you here, Pat. Let's stay within what we want to do. Let me do what I do best, and that's perform in front of this big crowd. But what I need you to do, Pat, is stay within yourself. Don't get too big. Don't try and do too much, right? When Pat Smith is not doing too much and stays solid, stays within his mechanics, he is great. But on the other side of things, you have one of the hottest guys playing right now in Brendon Long, okay, playing with a backboard in Regina Goldberg. And so now the task becomes even more difficult for Whitwell and Smith. Now, the difference maker here, what I'm going to say, is going to be because these ladies are going to be face up on each other, because Whitwell's going to be playing the right-hand side as a lefty. So she's going to be face up on Regina Franco Goldberg, and so we'll see how that comes into play. You're going to be looking for Lee Whitwell to do that Ernie that she loves, to be stepping aside. Pat Smith will cover in that middle with his forehand, so we'll see how that plays out too.
So watch for the movement on the side of the Ranchers, according to Dominic Catalano. They have the southpaw, and Lee Whitwell brings plenty of power to her game. Meanwhile, in terms of an update, the Chicago Slice win 3-0 in their quarterfinal matchup. So they are moving on to the semifinals. They'll face off against the Bay Area Breakers. Right now, the Dallas Pickleball Club is watching and waiting to find out their challenger. That is first speed up and out of bounds. Ranchers with the first point.
And I was wrong. I was again, this is why I didn't do like geography or geometry very well, because I was wrong. Whitwell's going to be face up on Brendon Long right now.
Yeah. Sometimes math is hard.
Oh, what a block there from Whitwell. The speed up from Long. Again, Whitwell getting out of the way, getting to that forehand. Beautifully done. Completely unapologetic too with Whitwell as soon as she hit that tape and it dropped over.
3-1.
Just starts hitting shots. She didn't even hit that ball cleanly, and it still hit the sideline.
But it was so nonchalant too, right? She just got it there and was like, okay, I'll hit this, it's fine. And I'll just skip this off the line too.
4-1 now for the Texas Ranchers, who are in a must-win situation.
That ball from Pat Smith crossed behind and over the right shoulder of Lee Whitwell as it went past her. Tough angle for us to see, but that was a great get by Pat Smith from behind Lee Whitwell. Again, that's such a hard ball because the speed up's coming and you think it's coming fast, then all of a sudden it clips the tape and you have to adjust to a slow ball. You can easily overhit that. Good adjustment from Smith to put that ball way down the middle.
Hey, if you got guns like that, you better show them off.
I left that comment alone.
Come on.
It's fine. You're all about dad jokes this morning.
Jeez. Hopefully I'm making somebody laugh.
Regina Goldberg with the Ernie on the backhand side. Watch her just punch this through the middle. Great job by Goldberg. Good reaction.
Five, six.
Miami within one.
Puts his hand up very casually saying, sorry for the first one, Pat, because his drive clipped the tape, caused that pop-up. That right there is how you work through the transition area. Franco Goldberg putting on a clinic right there, just working her way through, not rushing up, and then gets up and they come out on top right there.
Right out, point.
Direction of Goldberg. The third.
Seven.
Whitwell and Pat Smith.
Yeah, a little indecision right there from Smith whether he wanted to hit that hard through the middle or go cross court.
8, 7.
From Brendon Long.
Again, he's reading the Goldberg drop right there perfectly, coming up and just punching that ball down into his zone.
Talk about reading the drop. What are you looking for when you do that maybe after this point?
What Long is looking for on the drop from Goldberg, he's looking for that ball and that trajectory to be nice and low, and he's looking to see if that ball's going to drop at the feet of their opponents. If it does, it's going to cause a pop-up. He can come in and attack.
8, 9.
And that's the opposite of what you want to do, right? So on that drive, if you're going to drive on a shake and bake, the drive's got to be middle. If you drive to the sideline, you're creating so much space for your opponent to hit to.
Powering through the net. That's a good look there for Pat Smith in terms of not necessarily the net cord, but smiles as he's getting ready to serve. He can start turning some points his direction, just build a little momentum. We've seen just a bit of tightness from Pat Smith throughout this match. However, they're only trailing by 2, so they put themselves in a good position at the switch.
So on the end change, yes, and you're exactly right, is you got to see Pat Smith playing loose, right? He cracked a smile after the 2 points ago, right? If he's playing that way, he's playing fine. The last thing you want to see is him being tight right now. A good ball right there from Franco Goldberg, got in on his body right there, and so jammed him up. So on the end change, only down by 2. So Whitwell and Smith within striking distance here as they get some advice on their sideline from Scott Doerner and Tim Klitsch. But as you see, the Miami Pickleball Club in their huddle, Brendon Long re-gripping again. in between game or in between
That's next level.
end changes.
We saw him redo it actually in his last game as well, and all of a sudden he's doing it the secondary time. I don't know. That man's got to be able to work fast.
Someone get him a grip sponsorship because he's going through them like crazy right now. As you see Jocelyn Duvillier on the sideline talking to Johnny Goldberg.
He's getting ready because they're up next here on championship court. We go back to the side of the premier level. We go back to the side of the premier level as the St. Louis Shock will face off against the Florida Smash here on championship court. Semifinals for the challenger level will take place at 5 p.m. local time.
Two-point lead here for Miami. Looking to end this here. Texas looking to force that dream breaker.
Whitwell and Smith find number 10 off the missed third.
10-11.
And you can see a little more calculated approach from Pat Smith on that third shot drive. Wasn't swinging out of his shoes on that one.
No, much better control. And again, that's where he's playing at his best.
12-10.
Missed return, and Warnick is in Whitwell's face, saying there she is. I'm just saying, if there was ever a matchup you'd want to see, it would be Whitwell and Warnick facing off verbally.
Patience from Long, waiting for the right moment to step in, and Goldberg just being solid as can be cross court, and then a little inside out to Pat Smith to keep him honest as well.
I'm really impressed with the locations of his meetups and the consistency from Brendon Long throughout this match.
That's a good spot. Again, taking that ball out of the air. Goldberg is pulled completely to the sideline, so it opens up that space in the middle. He finds just enough.
11-14.
If he lets that ball drop, Whitwell's got to take it off the bounce. He comes, takes it out of the air, puts pressure on Long. Great job by Pat Smith. She was right there. She just overhits it right there at that moment instead of just placing it. Had Goldberg and Long on their heels.
Both Smith as well as Whitwell were all over this. Pulled it wide.
And that point change right there, you're talking about going from 13-14 now to 16-12. What a swing. That's good ball from Whitwell, going backside on Long, who has been pinching middle so hard.
Fourteen, 16.
Third shot drive. He's gone down the line twice This time he finds the forehand of Brendon Long cross court.
17-13.
And a miscommunication that is so costly.
That is tough at a huge juncture in this match. Watching that replay, looking to see, is she clean through there? She was, it looked like. But Miami is challenging.
Miami Pickleball Club is going to challenge the footwork of Lee Whitwell on the Ernie.
Well,
I sure hope they don't take this one away because it was amazing.
Well, that area that she jumped over, it looked like right there, is known as the Lee Whitwell runway, where she usually kind of runs through it. But it looked like she cleared it to the naked eye. We'll see on this replay if she actually did clear it. But what a move at what a juncture in the match to do that at. And that, if this stands, this is huge momentum swing to the side of the Texas Ranchers.
Yeah, and I don't think this is a bad challenge here either, because even if maybe you didn't see it, it also still gives you a little bit of a cooling of momentum, right? So we have a new challenge system here in place at Major League Pickleball Daytona. 2 free challenges are in store. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, that toe looks like it's right on that line on the push off.
Oh, it's so close.
Now, is it enough to overturn? It is so
I don't know, Dom.
close.
I don't see any blue.
Hey, I know.
I mean, if she was like an 8.5 instead of 9, we'd be fine here, but.
Oh, that's so tough. Because the call was it was clean. If this goes the other way, now you're talking instead of 14-18, it's 19-13. So instead of 4 points, it's 6 points. And a huge shift in momentum here.
So again, with the new challenge system, 2 free challenges. Miami Pickleball Club utilizing one of those. If they overturn this call, they will maintain both of those free challenges. However, if the call stands, they will lose one of those free challenges.
So they're deliberating here courtside to see what this call is.
Steve Kuhn even getting in the mix there.
Yeah. We have Whitwell and Goldberg sharing a laugh here up at the net.
And they even have the camera. Get this, there's a cell phone down in the box of Miami Pickleball Club where I guarantee you they are watching the live feed back right now on the cell phone to see the replay. Derek Shearer is down there with a cell phone in hand, so they've put it back away now.
Was confirmed. The result of the overturn. They will keep their real challenge. The score is 19-13.
So a potentially momentum-shifting point is taken away from that woman. Stoic and her stare now, down 13-19. Miami Pickleball Club is 2 away from a match victory and moving on to the semifinals. Make it 1, 20-13. Goldberg will serve for the match. So fast, ball out of bounds. The Cohen effect for Miami, but not the Ranchers. 2014.
So this is huge now. The Ranchers need to get back into this. They will not be frozen until they get to 18. So they got to make up this ground right here.
14-20.
Just too much pace from Brendon Long.
Big overhead there from Long will give Miami another opportunity here to end this.
20-14.
Big finish right there from Brendon Long, and Miami punching their ticket, the 6 seed over the 3 seed. 2 upsets, Cam, in the quarterfinals. The 6 and the 5 seed moving on to the semifinals later this evening.
So fun to watch these two teams go head to head. Both of our quarterfinals at the challenger level shockingly did not go to a dream breaker. After yesterday, we saw 5 of them.
It's the first one.
This is crazy. It's crazy. Currently, Cameron Blackwood is rounding up the Miami Pickleball Club. They will face off against the Dallas Pickleball Club. So from going from one Texas team to another, things are working in their favor, though, against the state of Texas. Again, we've got so much more to come from Major League Pickleball in terms of Daytona Beach action. I know Cameron Blackwood is standing courtside, but with only 2 of our winners. Where's the rest of the crew, Cameron?
Teams over there, I think they're still excited and enjoying this win, as Jeff did call it a 3-1 win against the Ranchers. But Regina, before we get into that, I want to talk to you about how you have such a natural transition from the baseline up to the kitchen and how you don't panic. Talk to us through that.
A lot of practice. No, but just like the more relaxed and the more like breathe that I do, it's just easier for me. And I know my partner is counting on me. So I'm like, I have to do my job. I am going to get us up to the line. And after that, you know, stay low and then move up.
And you guys had a dominating performance, 21-14. What patterns are working well for you?
It's just great playing with Regina because it doesn't matter what dumb stuff I do, she's going to make it back over the court. And it's pretty much the same thing when I play with Jeff. He's pretty much a butcher out there, just slicing and dicing everybody up. So I just make it in and trust my partners.
And we weren't sure if that Ernie was going to be overturned or not, but whose call was it on your team, or was it yours to challenge that?
It was 100% not my call because I obviously didn't see it coming, or I wouldn't have fed it right to her, and she almost hit me in the face. So if I saw it, I definitely wouldn't have hit it there. So it was definitely the people on the sideline, Alix as our team captain, that decided to do that.
There you guys have it. Miami Pickleball Club moving on. We're going to be right back with more MLP Pickleball. Don't go anywhere.